Thank you for tuning in to another episode on the Scouse Oracle channel. I truly appreciate you being here. On today's episode, I do want to be talking more about the proposals in which the UK government are making in regards to the justice system overhaul. And this is based on publicly available information, and also I'll be showing you the ecosystem behind it and how it's going to tie to the digital ID. And if you can bear with me, it is a lot, but this will provide you with more clarity. The government are proposing a justice system where there's going to be more hearings taking place remotely, so via video, fewer in-person hearings, more cases are being processed via digital platforms. So this is coming directly from the HMCTS and the Remote Hearing Guidance and the Law Society's 2024 update and the NOA's reform reports. Now, the digital first court procedures, the reforms really emphasise on electronic case bundles, digital evidence, bear this in mind, online case management, and then parties interacting through digital portals. So this aligns with the rollout of the Common Platform and the Crown Court digital case system. The transformation to a new national video hearing service in the HMRCTS states that the system will replace cloud video platform over time, provide virtual consultants and rooms, and support fully digital workflows. And this was referenced in the Law Society 2024 guidance. Now, the centralisation of case data, so all criminal and many civil cases are being moved onto connected systems, Common Platform, Digital Case System and Court Proceedings Database, and that's being confirmed that that's already in use, and that was through a Freedom of Information request, which is publicly available, which I'll cite the reference number, not one of mine, but the platform that I use. I am able to just search keywords on the platform. The platform's called What Do You Know? It's run by volunteers. I pay a monthly subscription to be able to have everything all in one place because it's easier for me to keep track of. We've got the biometric and digital monitoring expansion. So the MOJ proposals and announcements are including remote face scanning for probation, biometric access and monitoring in prisons, expanded use of smart prison technology. These are confirmed in the MOJ press release and the Inside Time reporting. Then we've got the increased automation of low-level cases. So the government continues to expand single justice procedure, online penalty notices and digital automatic case progression. So this is shifting the day-to-day justice processes away from courts and through digital automation. So bear that in mind. So the alignment with the National Digital ID with the One Login. While this isn't officially proposed for courts, the structure of the reforms mean that more citizen interaction with justice will take place online. Online services increasingly require verified identity, and the gov.uk One Login is becoming the standard ID layer across government. So this is creating conditions for identity verification to be tied to justice processes later on. Now, the bigger role for outsourced tech and cloud hosting is that the reforms rely on cloud hosting, AWS and Azure, digital court vendors with Sapora, Satera, PA Consulting and Atos, and monitoring contractors, and then monitoring contractors with Serco, G4S, Capita. And this is evidenced through public tender documents and AOA reporting, NOA reporting. And if you've been following me for a while, you'll see where I've been disclosing documents talking about the architecture, the infrastructure behind the digital identities. And what it means in practice is if these proposals move forward, the UK justice system will increasingly operate as digital by default, identity verified, cloud hosting, biometric enabled, automated in lower level cases, and reliant on private contractors. So this doesn't mean that jury trials are just going to disappear tomorrow, but it does mean that every step before the trial and then many after are moving towards digital systems. So what they're proposing is a justice system that lives online, digital hearings, digital evidence, digital case management, digital monitoring, and the infrastructure ties neatly into the national digital ID system being rolled out across the rest of the government. So this is like the cleanest, simplest interpretation that I could have given based on public, verifiable documents. So if we move on to the ecosystem, the entire justice ecosystem, and I briefly touch on the timeline. Back in 2003, prison and offender data was outsourced to an American firm, and I've done a video on this and gone more in depth, and I've also shown the contracts behind this. So the American firm EDS, the UK government outsourced core MOJ and prison service IT. So the EDS, the electronic data systems, went to the USA. They took control of our offender databases and prison records infrastructure. In 2008, EDS bought by HP. So HP inherited all prison data systems and MOJ IT infrastructure. And then in 2012, a Canadian firm, CGI, took control. So they were awarded the major MOJ IT contracts. And yet, bear with me, I am talking about British prison data, or data that we're not in control of. It included the host and key offender data and legacy prison systems. So this is where the UK pays £21 million a year to rent its own prison data back. And it comes from widely reported and referenced documents in Parliament. So 2015 to 2022, it was still hosted externally. And even as new systems launched, DCS, Common Platform, the legacy databases remained under CGI and HP management. Still to this day, after finding this out, it baffles me how they didn't upgrade just our systems and keep it in-house. That's my view, that's my opinion, and that is still happening. So I've shown the contract where we are still paying £20 million. So that's still ongoing today. So we do not own our prison data. For over 20 years, offender, prison and case data has been controlled by an American and Canadian firms, and it's never fully been bought and brought back inside the UK. Never. So the justice reforms didn't just appear from nowhere. They sit on top of 2 decades of outsourced infrastructure. 2003, the data outsourced to EDS, then it moves to HP, then Canada, the courts digested it, Supera, Ceteria, others. We've got biometrics and smart prisons expanded with Serco, Sodexo, G4S. And then now this year, we have the digital ID rollout with the one login, Delotti AWS. So all of this together is creating a unified ecosystem. Digital identity, digital court, cloud-hosted case data, biometric prison systems, electronic monitoring, and outsourcing all the infrastructure. You see, each piece reinforces the next. So the one login uses facial scans, ID scans, liveness detection, credit record questions. So companies' house already relies on one login for identity verification, meaning the same identity system used for business verification is structurally able to be tied to courts, fines, jury service, legal aid and prison systems because they already operate on the gov.uk digital portals. So this is not speculation. This is not me speculating. This is a technical compatibility. So for 20 years, our prison and offender data has been handled by an American and Canadian firms. The same companies appear again in today's system overhaul, which is Sopra Steria, Capita, Serco, G4S, Sodexo, AWS and Deloitte. Digital courts, digital prisons, digital identity, all in one ecosystem. And now the final layer, with the National Digital ID, fits into the infrastructure that already exists. So when we're talking about the justice overhaul, and if you do want to stay, I can give you a brief breakdown of the companies. The section we've got here with the major supplier for HMCTS digital programs, involved in common platform and court modernisation. Key digital infrastructure supplier for MOJ systems, that's Sopra Steria. Then you've got Capita, offender management systems, electronic monitoring and youth justice tools. So that links courts, probation and prisons. Then we've got Serco, open that provides you with a bit more clarity. And I, as always, will bring all information to you as and when I receive my responses. I very much appreciate it, all the comments, all the support. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe.